Hello everyone, and welcome back to another StarCraft 2 replay cast. This is your host, Overmind, and today we're going to be taking a look at a game between a Master League Terran player and a Grandmaster League Zerg player. And not only is this a high league game, it's also a high stakes game, because this is the 5th game in a best of 5 between Dust Gaming and XIG Integrity Gaming. So the player who wins it here wins it all for their team. Let's go ahead and introduce our players right now. Spawning up at the top right side of Foxtrot Labs Ladder Edition, we have our orange Terran player taking his first gas, and representing Dust Gaming, it's going to be Maker. And spawning in the bottom left side of our map, in blue from the Grandmaster League and representing XIG Integrity Gaming, it's PandaBearMe. Now, PandaBearMe is droning on up. He's taken his natural expansion right down here, and he's done something very important, something that a lot of people would miss. He has scouted his opponent's base, and what he would have seen is that this gas was being constructed. Oh my. And that means that there's a possibility that Reapers will be out, and indeed the first one has just popped. Now this is Foxtrot Labs. This is a map made of cliffs. So it is great for Reapers, it is great for drop play, it is great for Mutalisk Harass, and I believe we're about to see a bit of the first right now. We have a bit of drone micro, moving the intro drones away from the big scary Reaper. The Reaper getting as many shots off as he can. He's a crazy man, he's moving, he wants to cut those drones, and he might just get to. However, the Zerglings have come out, they are going to try and defend. We do have one drone being morphed into a Spore Crawler to save its life. We have the Reaper being chased away by several Zerglings. We have a second Reaper joining the fray. We have Zerglings getting ready to defend, a small number waiting to micro. Now, while all this is going on, Maker is constructing a factory, he's expanding, so he's doing a lot of good with these Reapers, if only as a distraction. I do want to note that PandaBearMe is actually continuing to do things like get his upgrades. You can see that he's getting speed boost, he's moving his Zerglings around on this little harassment ledge, and he's also making sure his queens are here to defend, but he's building drones as well. So both players are doing a good job of macroing while this harassment is going on. We do have our Reapers moving around near the natural. I don't believe they're going to get too lucky in this case, and in not too long metabolic boost will be up, so this should be pretty easily cleaned up if it does wind up being a problem again. However, it looks like we have our Reapers moving back across the map. We have PandaBearMe able to finish up his metabolic boost, able to get his queens up and going, and able to continue macroing. Back at home at Maker's base, we have a third command center coming on up, so possibly he's looking to expand, and he's going to begin producing Hellions. And Hellions are great for a lot of things versus Zerg. They're good for controlling space, they're good for killing off a whole bunch of drones all at once, especially when they line up to run away. They're very good in general. So this is a pretty typical play, but also a fairly good play, and possibly a sign that Maker wants to continue that aggression. He's going to begin to get a wall up here at the entrance to his natural. And we do have some speed Zerglings out and about near Maker's base, not making any trouble, just checking things out. We do have some Hellions and Reapers moving out across the map towards PandaBearMe's third base, and we have Queens right here at the front, along with a constructing Spine Crawler as our defense. I don't know if that's going to be enough against this number of Reapers and Hellions. It looks like the Reapers and Hellions are waiting just a moment for their two Hellion friends to join them. However, this is a very scary moment for PandaBearMe. He could well wind up losing some of these queens. He is getting a bit of a scout off in the main base. However, back at his own home, the Hellions have become Hellbats. A queen falls. The other queens do back up and are doing a good job of damaging as well as transfusing that Spine Crawler. However, the Spine Crawler too falls, and the queens are forced to retreat back towards the natural expansion. We have one more queen getting transfused at the very last possible second. We have a run around near the mineral line. The drones do indeed get pulled, which is quite good. However, we are going to lose some mining time here, and it looks like possibly some Zerglings. Hellbats will in fact roast Zerglings to a crisp if allowed to. and in fact several will die right there. We are going to need to pull some additional drones, and we do. PandaBearMe responding quite well to this. Looks like he will lose a couple of drones, but overall not too serious, except that he is losing a decent amount of mining time. We have queens up here. Looks like we have 4 at this point, all ready to transfuse each other, all ready to kill off these hellions, all ready to get rid of the reapers. And it looks like they do so quite handily. So now we can take a brief breath again. These reapers are going to run out this way, take a few pot shots, kill off a drone before they are themselves killed. Now at this time, Stimpack is just about finished on up, and back over at Maker's Base we are going to add on 4 additional barracks. So it looks like we are going to go ahead and go for that nice familiar Terran bio ball that we are also accustomed to, that we all know and love, or hate, whatever. We also have... oh, that was an SCV, that's not what I wanted. We have a starport coming on up, which is going to be great if we do want to see some of that drop play harassment, which I would be quite excited to see in this game. Several speed zerglings just picking away at our friend the debris over here, which hopefully Maker will see, because it is quite bad to have a large gaping opening into your bases that allows speed zerglings to run on in, regardless of how small the number. And at this time we do have PandaBearMe just about finished up with his lair, and in fact is droning on up, getting his upgrades, adding on a baneling nest, and spreading his creep all about. So he is in mass macro mode. The only thing that is really aggressive that he's doing is this small amount of poking at destructible debris with his small number of speed zerglings at the front. This is chased away, and it looks like these Marines are intent on killing the other rocks. It's really the problem that they had with those zerglings. We have our friend Maker moving on out and expanding, taking his 3rd. And there's... oh! We have loaded medevacs. Loaded medevacs are here. We're all very excited about the loaded medevacs at the moment. PandaBearMe is going to go ahead and take his 4th base, which is exactly what he wants to do at around this time. However, medevacs may well fly right over it, so we'll see if he winds up keeping that or not. Obviously, losing this would be quite a big blow to him. However, I believe that... oh, the medevacs... I don't know if they see that or not, actually. They might have gone too far away from it to actually see it. We are going to spot this drop with this Overlord here. Immediate response by some of these speed zerglings, which is very good. However, several zerglings will die in the process. Looks like this force is going to move on into the main. And banelings do get a hit or 2 off. However, the majority of this drop does live and drops behind the mineral line over here. Getting several kills on drones, getting picked up, moving on back. Oh no, dropping on the cliff, in fact, making PandaBearMe stress out and run up and down the cliff. And dropping back down on the low ground again, making as much use as he can out of this drop. Maker is really showing why he is in the Master League right now. The drop does eventually get cleaned off, however, there's another drop over here at the natural. The queen dies. There are many Terran minions over here. We have a Widow Mine that got 10 kills, which is great, and we have some of that drop remaining and dropping again at the same place. Baneling's getting a couple hits off, however I'm not sure that they're trading cost efficiently, since I've seen a Baneling kill a Marine a couple times, I believe, during this drop. Here we have dropships moving away. Still have this Widow Mine here. I'm actually curious to see if it gets another hit off. Kills one of the first Mutalisks to spawn. However, I should note that the fact that there are Mutalisks means that that spire that PandaBearMe was making has finished. And Mutalisks are also great on this map. We have a dropship being loaded up here, we have a dropship being loaded up here, and Maker's gonna keep on with the pressure. This area is all ready to be defended, so it doesn't look like we're gonna have a drop right there. We do have some units up here trying to clean up some of the creep. The creep spread is quite good. Here we have a few Mutalisks chasing after the dropships. This is very scary if you are a Maker. He is going to get away from those Mutalisks. By and large, he does lose one dropship. However, the Mutalisks do move back because, let's face it, that number of Marines is scary versus such a small number of Mutalisks. And I believe, the spawning pool. The spawning pool goes down. We also have a drop in the natural, which is preventing mining. We have another Widow Mine over here with 6 kills. Looks like this dropship is being chased away by the Mutalists. However, more dropping is going on at the third. There's damage being done all around. And while we are losing medevacts, while we are losing Marines, if we look at the units lost tab, we do see that Zerg is far ahead in the lost resources. Looks like we do have 25 kills on that Widow Mine before it is cleaned up, and not a moment too soon. That is a lot of death. We have another drop over here at the fourth, preventing mining. Moving on back. Another drop over here at the natural. Drops all around. This drop continues. This Widow Mine. Oh. Just gonna kill the queen. Alright, we have a drop in the main. Maker is really making a good use of these maps. Making sure he abuses those cliffs. Making sure that he gets any advantage that he possibly can. Continuing to drop in the natural. The Mutalist number is swelling, however. And it looks like this one is going to get cleaned up. There is still a Widow Mine right here. It has 1 kill. There's not too much near it. Might get a couple more Zerglings or something like that. However, we have seen Widow Mines make some pretty impressive kills this game, so certainly they cannot be discounted. We have Maker moving out across the map. His third base is a bit oversaturated. He probably wants to go ahead and take a fourth pretty soon. He's getting ready to head out. The Widow Mines were not in position. He loses a couple. He does get a detonation on 1, only killing 1 thing though. That is a shame for him. He's just trying to clean up some of this creep. However, PandaBearMe is not prioritizing defending his creep. He knows what's important. He wants to take care of his bases, of his units, of his tech structures, of his drones. He can always put more creep there. Right now, this is buying him a lot of time because he has so much vision because of his good creep spread that he can sit back, he can build 28 additional Zerglings like he is now, and he can just get ready to defend his bases. Over here, we do have a bit of a potential problem. We have some units that can shoot down this cliff. Again, this map is really big on cliffs, so we're going to have some harassment there. We have a fairly large force moving across the map, taking out creep here. However, it looks like PandaBearMe decides to get involved at this point and is going to be able to take out these units. We have some pretty good Baneling hits going off here. My goodness, Maker losing a decent number of his units. Mutalists do give chase to this medevac that is loaded up. Looks like he's going to slowly drop off little individual Marines, which do get cleaned up. And PandaBearMe can once again take a deep breath and might be making a run on the third. No, not quite. Now, while all this was going on, we do have Maker setting up his fourth base, macroing up, continuing to make SCVs. Oh, and it looks like we might have a run on the fourth base. In fact, we do lots and lots of death coming in right here. Lots of SCVs being killed. The base itself does fall. We do see a lot of carnage here at the front. We see Widow Mines and Marines dying left and right. We see lots of damage being taken, actually, by the Mutalists from those turrets. However, by and large, I think that came out in PandaBearMe's favor. And not only that, but this is one of 2 mining bases for Maker. Because PandaBearMe lost so much mining time, you can see he's still even mining in his main, in his natural. His third, of course, still has minerals, and his fourth is all ready to be saturated when these things run out, so he has a lot of potential sources of income. However, Maker is mined out in his main, is almost mined out in his natural, is oversaturated here at his third, and of course there's a bit of Zergling harassment. And this base is having trouble establishing itself, so really he's mining off essentially 1 base at this point. I do want to also note that this is his important base, so when he sees Mutalists, he reacts the same way I do. He's going to build all the turrets and make sure that those SCVs are safe, because he needs them. It's important. We do have 1 Marine spotting this Zergling run in right now, and this should get cleaned up pretty easily. However, at this point, PandaBearMe is free to continue to macro along. He's getting his hive, he's spreading his creep, he's making reinforcing zerglings so that he can continue the run-bys. 7 and 19 kills on those Widow Mines, making PandaBearMe pay for every moment he takes away from mining at this base. This base is going to float away and survive. However, there is a zergling attack over here at the 4th as well, which is going to mean lots and lots of SCV deaths all over the map. And in fact, this will get chased away and cleaned up. I do want to look at the army and worker count. The army supply is still slightly in Maker's favor, however, he is having to run all over the map to defend his bases. And also, worker supply is down to 51 to 69. That is a bit of a difference. Although certainly Maker is not out of the game by any means. He is moving across the map, is cleaning up the creep as he goes. And lots of good Baneling detonations. We do have Thors in this army now for Maker, which is quite scary. Looks like we have several Baneling detonations over on those SCVs back at home, which is not great for Maker. Several Baneling detonations over here, my goodness. Actually, I want to look at the worker and army count again. It's now 17 to 69. This could be a huge turning point in the game. We do have this attack here imminent, though. I think PandaBearMe can handle it, but of course he wants to be very careful with those Mutalisks versus that Thor. Looks like he is going to engage directly and take that one out. However, there are 2 more in the back. They are getting surrounded by Zerglings and Banelings. Looks like they might go down. One does fall. One gets picked up by a medevac, which is being chased by Mutalisks. And the Thor is dropped right under the Mutalisks. Mutalisks do take a bit of damage. Zerglings come in and back up those Mutalisks. And this gets picked up, moved, and it looks like we have the final engagement between Thor and Mutalisks. Mutalisks do wind up winning. They are going to chase those medevacs. We have a Zergling attack over here. And now we have PandaBearMe, who is in a position to continue to pressure Maker instead of the other way around. We really just have mules mining at this base with just a handful of SCVs, which is quite scary if you're Terran. We have additional Mutalisks being produced. We have upgrades going down. Lots of Marines being made, but really Maker is so broke. I think that at this point he's kind of on the ropes unless he can pull something out and really deal with this Mutalisk and macro situation, really strike a blow. He's going to be in big trouble. And right now it looks like he may be trying to strike that blow. However, Terran forces are few and far between. There is a Thor here to try and deal with the Mutalisks. However, the Mutalisks are not bothering to engage just yet. Zerglings are doing a lot of damage, and it looks like the Mutalisks are going to go ahead and clean that up. You know you're in trouble when you have Mutalisks taking fights with Thors. We do have lots and lots of mules making themselves useful over here at this base. We do have a little bit of money for Maker. We have PandaBearMe kind of broke right now. But to be quite honest, his creep spread is so good he could probably safely take this base here, which it looks like he's doing, and possibly even the gold because his vision is so good by virtue of this creep, which is extended all the way over almost into Maker's base at this point. We do have some additional Marines, and importantly some Widow Mines, which are always kind of a wild card, although you can do things with positioning to make sure that they get the best effect. You never know quite what you're going to get with them. Sometimes you get 1 unit, sometimes you get 25 like we saw earlier. So we'll see if we get any decent hits off. Oh, that was scary. However, that Widow Mine does get taken out. No detonation there, which was a little bit surprising. And again, PandaBearMe going to see all of this by virtue of his creep. Widow Mine does go off, however, it is taken out. And at this point, Maker really needs to pull something out of his hat to continue to bring this back in his favor. We do have some long-distance mining from some drones, which is not ideal for PandaBearMe. However, this base should be up and going soon enough. We have him mined out in his main, just about mined out in his natural, mined out at his third, and pretty well saturated over at his fourth, so he definitely needs that fifth base up and going. We have a few Zerglings running around over here, a nice line of Widow Mines over here to make sure that they take care of any encroaching attacks or problems that might happen. We have continued upgrades going on for our Zerg player as well as production of Mutalisks. We even have Burrow, which is quite scary, especially when you have things like Banelings. And the 4th base repair, you definitely need that base maker repair. And we have the repair. Because if Maker has any shot of making a comeback, he definitely needs to make sure that he keeps all of his bases in line. Mutalisks are darting about, looking for an opening. Oh, here we have some Banelings coming on in. The Burrow. Oh, 2 very heroic Widow Mines just saved that for Maker. He's holding on by the skin of his teeth, but you know what? We're not going to give up on him yet. He's got a bit in this game. He could still make a comeback. Maybe. If he's really oh, the Widow Mine's taken out. Oh, I changed my mind. He's probably pretty done for. He's going to lose this base. Oh, Maker. You did such good drops. We were so pleased with you. However, PandaBearMe is just doing a great job with his harassment as well. And I think that kill earlier of all of those SCVs was probably the nail in the coffin for Maker. Here we have creep spread being dealt with. We have several long-distance mining drones from this gold base. And here we have a big engagement. Widow Mines as well as Banelings getting decent shots off. Mutalisks engaging Marines, you know that you're in trouble when that's happening. And much as I want to be encouraging to Maker, this is game over. And there's GG! And that's the end. So it does look like XIG Integrity Gaming does take this best of 5. Congratulations to PandaBearMe, and thank you so much for the submission. I was very happy to have received it. Maker, you played an awesome game. If you were out there watching, those drops were a joy to watch, and I'm glad to have seen it. To anyone else out there who has watched this cast and would like to see me cast one of your games, go ahead and send me that game to NoobCrafted@gmail.com. I'd be happy to put it up on my channel. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the ladder.